vastly off topic, but that's what this podcast is going to do all the
pretty
time.
much.
Is it in Jefferson?
You guys really like listening to us.
Shit.
Starting the show in 3, 2, 1. Ladies and gentlemen, we're back yet again with episode 4. This is 4, right? We're on 4? I think this is 4.
This is 4.
This is 4.
Geek Talk, the dark side and the white side, the closest thing that we can say without getting sued by Disney and the other guy. Today we have a special guest. Nobody told me he was going to be here today. I don't know about you guys, but apparently the love child of Johnny Depp and Tony Stark is on the show today.
And now he's leaving.
Don't act like you didn't see that coming.
And now it looks like he got up and walked away. Come back! I was
Shortest
only
guest
joking.
appearance ever.
Right. Anyhow, we're going to go through our normal introductions like we normally do. Today, I be David Jackson. Sitting to my right is...
Angry black guy.
also known as...
Agent Prime.
Today's special guest to his right is...
Mark Levis.
And as always...
John Smith.
Alright guys, today we're going to talk about a show that a lot of us have watched already, a lot of us have seen. If you have Netflix and you didn't binge it, it's your loss. It's been out for about a little over a month now. We're a little late doing this review, but I mean, we've had a lot of stuff to do between the Geek Expo and all of us having everyday lives. That's a plug, Geek Expo. I got the first plug this week.
Oh, you did. You did the first plug.
But
plugging for 2017 already.
You're right. We're going to talk about Luke Cage, Mr. Hero for Hire himself. I can speak for the four of us when I say that all of us loved that show. Thought it was really well done.
Great.
A lot of people didn't like the story. I don't know what show you were watching because I really, really dug it. Especially if you dropped it after an episode or two, you're missing out. But
It didn't even start off that slow. I don't understand.
I don't know. I thought it started off a little slow.
I don't know.
it was a little slow burn. It really was. But I think that's because we knew what to expect with it.
Probably.
Like,
okay. Yeah.
And this is a real point of controversy in the community with Luke Cage. Was the divide and who liked it and who didn't, and why they didn't like it and why they loved it, and
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah. I really think a lot of the issue with the show is that it was our first mainstream big black superhero, first one that has gotten more than 10 lines in 5 movies. Storm.
See, I thought you were talking about Black Panther.
Panther actually,
He had a lot of lines.
He had at least 20 minutes of screen
Falcon
time.
had a lot of
But I mean,
lines.
when you,
Yeah,
make,
Sam did
when
too.
you make the statement first major black superhero, that's the first thing everybody says is, what about Black Panther?
Right, but
That's
it's
the first
not.
thing they're
It's,
gonna say.
it's the first starring black
Yeah,
superhero.
right.
That's what it is.
No,
Yeah,
exactly.
that's what I meant. That's what I meant.
Yeah,
They're
What
starting-
happens
we-
to a
we
toad
did
when
that.
it gets struck by lightning?
That was her longest line of those movies.
Right.
You know what? That's probably the best line in any superhero movie up until,
The same thing that happens to everything else. What? I really wanted a better ending than that.
Wasn't even
And then
catchy.
what's worse is Joss Whedon wrote that line. That's, I think, the worst part of it is he wrote that line. And it's like, why did you do that?
I don't know. I dug it, but whatever.
I didn't. I could get down
Really
with that.
corny.
But anyhow, the main focus of today's show is going to be talking about Power Man himself and, how the show started, how it ended. Probably be full of spoilers. And differences. I'd like to point out that today on the show there are 2 black guys and 2 white guys and potentially 1 white woman that are going to be talking about this show. And all of us enjoyed it very much so.
She's in the kitchen because she knows her place.
Don't do that. Why did you do that?
I had to.
Why did you do that? You're gonna get us killed by association. We didn't even do it.
Well, it's time to go.
Whoa. Thank you for listening to the shortest episode of Geek Talk. He didn't really mean that.
No, I did.
No, he know better.
He did. He really did.
Oh, he did not.
Oh, man.
Moving on. God, there are going to be so many people that listen to this that hate us now.
Oh, whatever. They can get it. We're all friends.
Gonna be so many whispers about us.
Right? We're not even getting paid by that app.
No. Oh, shit. That's right. I forgot about that.
Yeah. So, Jesus Christ,
You can't even think.
I can't gather a thought.
Screen.
The biggest, I think, high points of this series were it was educational in the fact that it shows you the inner workings of an all-black community, which is not something we get on everyday TV all the time. Usually when you get black communities on TV shows, or cop shows for that matter, they're usually shown as like the ghetto, hardcore ghetto. Drug dealing, prostitution, all that. We did see a little bit of that in Luke Cage, but it wasn't overplayed.
No, there was a good balance.
Yeah, the positive to me really outweighed the negative. Like the thuggery and the hoodism. That's a new word I'm coining that for 2017. That was there,
I accept that.
but it also showed you the good qualities of like the people trying to protect their community, trying to stop the bad people from coming in. Because like
Community pride.
Community pride,
the
yeah.
thing that would've
Also
been
showed a lot
shown-
of people reformed from doing.
right. I mean, one of the main characters that we all love, Pops. We knew that this wholesome black man wasn't just going to get to be a wholesome black man. We knew there was going to be some undercover shit that happened, and there was, and it showed that he used to be a number runner and used to be like a protection runner for a gang boss. I guess is what you'd call Mabel. I'd call her a gang boss.
Yeah.
Kind of like the head of the family type, but like they didn't really. I'm not saying what they did was good, but I'd rather have them doing that than what they could have done and made them drug lords, and they weren't.
Right.
Mabel wasn't. And then you skip ahead to the future where we are now in the show, and we get Cottonmouth, whose real name escapes me in the show. I can't remember his real name.
Was it Andre or Eric or something? I can't remember.
No.
Yeah, good luck trying to pronounce his real name.
The actor's name, I'm not even going to try that.
I was getting ready to rewatch
But the character, he doesn't like being called Cottonmouth for one. There's a story behind that, which I'm really not going to go into detail. But like he took his legacy, like what was she his grandmother? Or, his adopted mother.
Yeah.
His adopted mother, what she left for him, and he turned it into an empire that was solely based on drugs and guns. I mean, he ran a nightclub and was helping Alfred Woodard's character, Black Mariah, to reinvigorate, as she put it, Harlem. But one of the things she says in the show that really stuck with me, that a lot of people probably missed, was keep Harlem black. And I think a lot of people didn't realize that, but like that was showing that the character was inadvertently racist. Like they don't realize that she wasn't. I mean, by the end of the series, you know she's not a good guy at all. At all. But during the progression of the series, like it's kind of hard to see where she stands. Like she's about betterment as a community, but why is she about that betterment?
And she doesn't like white children.
She really doesn't. She what was it? The sanitizer. Yeah. Right after touching her on the shoulder. And to me, that's a good thing to show. Racism as a whole is a problem. We all know that. But the biggest thing is like everybody wants to act like there are like. Black people, white people, everybody wants to act like we never talk about blacks being racist. We don't ever talk about black people and how they can be racist. But like this show illustrated that. That's something we don't get on TV. That's something you don't get in the movies generally. And for this to be a comic book television show, that's a big deal.
Yeah, I think that's what I like most about Luke Cage. I mean, when you compare the movies Marvel are doing are great, and then you can look at the TV shows we're doing, and on the TV shows we're getting like a street side view. We're getting like real problems. The Avengers are saving the world from Ultron, and it's all this big hubbub. But when you get to Luke Cage, it's a story about modern America. It's about racism. It's real. It's more real in a way.
Very
they can do that,
true.
especially being straight to Netflix. Like they can take those liberties to show that kind of.
I mean, and same with Jessica Jones. I mean, that has a lot to do with psychological abuse on women.
Right.
Oh yeah.
I mean, all of these shows.
Point of the show.
I can't say all of these shows have been extremely relevant to modern culture because Daredevil really isn't. Mm-hmm. But Daredevil is still an amazing show. But there's not stuff that you can pick out of Daredevil and go, I get it. Oh, no. I mean, season 2 with the Punisher.
Yeah,
the mass shootings and everything. Yeah, that was much more realistic than the first season. I mean, the first season was still had the realism and everything, but like the season 2 really gives you a broader look of like what the judicial system goes through when something like this happens, especially when they catch the guy.
And it gives us a chance. I mean, we're getting to fleshed out actual characters, everything, their flaws and their strengths.
Right.
Like with the movies, you got to watch, 1, 2, and 3, and then the collaborative movies over a span of 4 or 5 years Captain America's gone through so many shifts since the first Captain America movie, which is cool, but it's taken us how long to see that?
Yeah, true.
So now
we didn't really get the full dynamic of who Steve Rogers is until
Steve Rogers, Bucky, Iron Man, all of them, all the characters, they get their flesh outs. But with the Netflix series, whether it's Jessica Jones, Luke Cage, or any of them, we got them right there.
Yeah, and that's 13 hour long episodes.
Yeah, so. Okay, it took me a second. I was like, 13-hour long episodes. No.
13 1 hour long episodes.
Yeah, no, I got it.
Because somebody else is going to do what Caden just did. I didn't mean it was 13 hour long episodes.
Right. Yeah, no. It was
but I mean, you might as well make it one episode and just watch it for 13 hours because that's pretty much what we all did.
But it's great. I mean, especially with Marvel heroes, we need that because that's what makes Marvel Marvel. They're people.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're not necessarily superheroes. They're people that can do some awesome shit.
That's where some of the best stories come from, is seeing their human side and what they have to deal with when they're not being superheroes.
Right. I mean, that's what I was getting at with Pops, too. Like, it's like we see the character, and we see him as that lovable mentor character, that father figure for a lot of kids in the area. But, like, then you find out about his backstory, and you're like, man, look at the changes that this particular character went through. Look at what happened to him that made him into the person that he is. And then that elaborates into the lessons that he's teaching Luke, that he's teaching Turk, that he's teaching, what was the little Puerto Rican boy's name? From the beginning of the show.
Ricky. No,
it wasn't Ricky.
No, close enough, though.
Yeah. I can't remember, but that character, like all the two kids that were in there that ended up being the ones that put the hit, that did the hit. Like he tried to spread that message, and you see the positivity that this to be blunt, former thug was trying to spread to these two, but they took it and did the opposite, and you see what happened to them. They got caught up. It was all about the money for these idiots, especially the one boy that got his ass beat by Cottonmouth in the club. I'm not gonna lie, he deserved every inch of that ass whooping. Like, if you just stole money from one of the biggest gang leaders in town and you used to work for him, what makes you think that it's a great idea to carry $500,000 around in a duffel bag and go to a strip club? Who would do that?
I mean, and he was the grunt that was trying to live above his station, too.
Yeah.
I mean, he was the foot soldier that thought he was the kingpin. That's who that
That
was.
really is what it boils down to. And I really love with the fact that all these are interconnected, that they talk about. You said Kingpin. They talk about Fisk. They talk about Jessica Jones. They don't mention her by name, but they mention the woman that breaks the guy's neck, and she said she was mind controlled. Patty Walker. I didn't realize that she got a cameo in the show. Yeah, like it was only for a few seconds, but like her radio show was on the show. Like that's Hellcat. That's awesome. They keep this so close knit, but the stories are still very realistic. This stuff is all happening in New York, all in the general same time span.
I was gonna say they mentioned the Avengers movies too
several times.
So, I mean,
there's a guy on the corner in Luke Cage selling bootlegs of the incident. Like, and let's not front. All of us would have bought a copy. I got that Blu-ray. I got that 480. Son, that 1080.
I had a bootleg Toy Story. So,
right.
I mean.
But, the biggest problem that we're seeing on the internet with this particular show, and I can't believe this is a thing in 2016. Actually, I shouldn't be fucking surprised about this at all, is this show has really been called, oh my God, I'm going to say it, Too Black. Where'd they do that at? Like, Too Black, seriously. And one of the biggest complaints that I've seen is, oh, where's the diversity, Marvel? The one white guy is a racist, crooked cop. I beg to differ. Scarf was not racist at all. He was just dirty. His best friend was Misty Knight, who we haven't even touched on yet. His best friend was a female black cop. He cared about her a lot, and it's shown.
Yeah, he'd probably taken a bullet for that woman.
Right, that he doesn't want it. He didn't want anything bad to happen to her. But by the end of the series, it was all about that money and keeping himself safe. So that's what crooked cops do. But he wasn't racist. And you want to talk about the one character in this particular show being typecast, to be blunt, that happens to black actors on a regular basis. We all know. Look at Taye Diggs on Empire right now. Right, Taye Diggs has a broad range.
The first thing I said when I saw him on that episode was it's fucking Best Man all over again.
He has a broad range as an actor, and he is literally playing the same well-educated, uptight, government bougie ass Negro. That's pretty much what he's doing. That's a black show, and we're getting that character that he's played 17 other times.
What's the wood?
Yeah, the wood.
Same goddamn character.
Same character. So it happens. Typecasting is a thing, but they needed that counterbalance. And they also showed that Scarf wasn't the only crooked cop. That the Hispanic cop that came in was also crooked. I thought they got me really good. I thought the inspector was crooked too. She still could be. She still could be, but for this particular case, she wasn't. But they got me real good. I thought for sure that she was up to no good.
Especially with how much she was trying to rein in Mr. Knight.
Yeah.
It's like, yo.
Yeah, but I mean, and then this is the other thing Marvel's doing also, like, is what a lot of people aren't commenting on, especially in a series like this, is we got yet another strong female character. I mean, Jessica Jones.
A couple.
Yeah.
We got a couple.
I mean, Mariah's just a strong character, too.
Yeah. She's a bad.
Just happened to be evil.
Very strong character.
Yeah. And I mean, like, you see these characters go through their changes, like, by, what was it, episode 5? Where the big change for Mariah happened?
I think it was 6.
It was 6 or 7.
Was it 6 or 7?
6 or 7, yeah.
I think it was 7 because that's what everybody got released early and watched.
Oh, yeah.
All the reporters and everything because they got to watch the first half of the season. It ended at that part where she takes out Cotton.
It might have been 6. I remember it was really early for him to die. I remember I was like, what the hell are they going to do for the rest of the series?
Yeah, it was 7.
Was 7?
He's my favorite character now.
Of course.
I do think I would have preferred to see Cottonmouth grow a bit more. As
my biggest problem, I think, was pacing. It feels like it was 2 seasons almost. Like they could have expanded Cottonmouth out and then made Diamondback season 2.
Yeah,
definitely.
Yeah.
Like it seemed like they rushed his storyline and Mariah.
While we're on that,
they were trying to avoid that formula where it's just one main bad guy.
I think so too.
I
I feel like they could have brought another superhumans and did something
we did get
with that.
4 main villains in this.
Right.
We got Shades, Cottonmouth, Mariah, and Diamondback. Shades was that character that was out for himself from the jump.
Yeah, he was great though.
He was really good, and I can't remember the actor's name. And I remember
Rossi.
Yeah, you said you didn't know how he was going to do it first, but then like you get deeper into the series, and it's like Jesus Christ, man, I love to hate you.
He was the villain that was smarter than you originally thought.
Yeah, he was honestly the one kind of behind everything because he caused a lot of the stuff to happen.
He really did. He really did. But like before seeing all that, you really think that he's just a peon.
Yeah,
that he's just that guy that's there, that's like working for Diamondback.
Yeah, just like the muscle or something. But
I don't know why you're here,
really
blah blah blah. But like he's the guy that like everything worked out for him in the long run, except for the fact that he had to make out with Mariah.
I would have liked to seen more of a power struggle between him, Mariah, and Cottonmouth.
I think we're going to get more of a dynamic between Mariah and Shades.
Really, it was just because I felt like Cottonmouth went too early.
That's what I'm saying. I just wish they would have made him the focus of the first season.
I mean, then again, even from beyond the whole owing to the fleshed out plot point, it still fits the story that he went early because it was pivotal. No one saw it coming outside of the audience, even within the story. Because I mean, I'm pretty sure she wasn't like, "I'm gonna kill my brother." And I mean, she got pissed off and it changed.
Yeah, I mean, it was kind of a quick snap. I really think for me,
I didn't see it coming. I mean, I really don't think anybody was watching.
I didn't really see her about to beat him to death. I didn't expect that.
No, I thought hey, I'm the big sister. You know.
Yeah, I really
write yourself off. No,
for that split moment when she beat his ass, though, I kind of fell for her because like you realize what like he talked about a sexual assault that happened to her, and apparently it was a repeated sexual assault, and that triggered that post-traumatic stress disorder, which Marvel's been doing a lot with a lot of different characters. And honestly, in a world full of superheroes and like aliens and magic and shit, it makes sense for people to have PTSD.
Yep. Again, the fleshed out character.
I mean, they made a whole movie about it with.
Iron Man 3 was all about that post-traumatic stress. And to see Mariah snap, you're like, I kind of get it. But on the same note, I can't justify you killing somebody over things he said. Like over yes, it was horrible what happened to you, but you beat him to death. And then didn't beat him and just leave him there to bleed out. You went downstairs and finished the job. Like, that showed the progression of her character greatly because it was just this woman that was all about money and didn't care where it was coming from as long as her projects were getting taken care of and keeping the community the way she wanted a community, which is very much a dictator-like philosophy, very much a I mean, it looks like, you know, things might be like that in November.
We don't have to talk about that right
now. That's another conversation.
We're gonna keep this.
But she she wanted things the way she wanted them to go. As long as she got her way, she didn't care. But then he started pushing her buttons. And I mean, I just, to see the breakdown of the character, I thought it was good, but like, damn.
And up until that point, even though she had her motives, but up until that point, she wanted her hands clean. She wanted her brother's hands clean. They
were cousins, I think.
Cousins?
Yeah,
They were cousins.
Brother,
right.
cousins. My bad, whatever. We all look alike. Let's just...
Really?
I mean, we're doing... I mean, but that was the thing.
Oh, he made it.
Oh,
Hey!
look who's running on CPT.
Now we are outnumbered.
We have
They're definitely outnumbered now.
we actually have
He actually made it on
joining the
time.
episode, folks. We had to start early because D comes from all the way from Cleveland. But my boy,
And he
But I
usually
brought you comics that I'm not going to use, but they're brand new.
oh, awesome, awesome. Representing the D Harris brand himself,
How's it going,
D
everybody?
Harris is here to join us for the conversation. Jeannie, you got to get in those now. It's going to be outnumbered otherwise.
Is it going, sir? I don't have udders today.
So basically, D, where we're at right now is we're talking about the progression of Mariah as a character.
Okay.
And actually the progression as a whole of every character, because they did a good job fleshing everybody out, like good, bad, white, black, Puerto Rican, whatever. Like they
Absolutely.
did a good job of telling the story.
There was no one in this show that did not get a good showing of including quote unquote background people, one episode people.
Oh, what's her name? The girl that said Luke was the one that killed Cottonmouth.
Everybody.
Candace.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Every
actually like
single-
Candace.
I can't say I liked her, but I can't say I disliked her in that same
Well, it
time.
was part of it because I kind of thought she was hot.
I was
so-
gonna say,
Yeah.
I was gonna say she was a young hothead, but
Right.
she's that typical know everything, young adult. If you don't do it, I'm gonna do it. Hurry up.
You know what though, like, and this goes back to what we've talked about before with the Hollow Man complex. Like, I haven't talked about it on the show. For those of you that don't know what my Hollow Man theory is it's about the movie Hollow Man with Kevin Bacon. He had the power to go invisible. We all say what we would do with that power, but none of us know for sure what we would do if we could turn invisible.
I'll touch a lot of butts.
Cajun knows what he would do.
I know exactly what I'm
Invisible. Anyhow, what I'm getting at is we can all sit here and judge this character and talk about what we would do, what we would have done. I wouldn't have taken the money, but none of us can say with a straight face that we wouldn't have taken the money to rely on somebody else. Like, I mean, I'm not saying we're bad people. I'm just saying that until you're put in that position, you don't know for sure what you would do. I still didn't like her for taking. And that's because I'm partial to Luke Cage, though. So I was really mad that I was like, why you ran after my boy like that? Why you have to do that? He didn't even do nothing. How much did they give you?
I'm going to play a little bit of devil's advocate in that situation. Because even though they said they were going to kill her family if she didn't comply and just take the money and say what she had to say, thing was also, she didn't know all of this was going to happen. She definitely didn't know she was going to. Am I allowed to give spoilers?
Yeah, well,
Okay,
it's
we
a month out now. Right?
She also didn't know that she was going to wind up dead as a result. She just thought, okay. They said they're going to kill my family, but they're paying me. I'm going to shut up. I'm going to do this. My conscience is feeling a little weird about this, but I'm going to go ahead and go through this. She didn't think that far. You know what I mean?
Right.
So that could be a reason, but she's chick dead now.
Genie? You got nothing? You got really? You got nothing?
She's gonna wait. She'll come in when we start talking about Luke himself.
Yeah. We mentioned the 3 times that Luke took his shirt off. Genie will be in on this
I
conversation.
take that back. I do have one thing.
The awesome thing about this conversation is, how many of us is it in here?
6.
6 of us?
Yeah.
Okay, 5 of the 6 of us are wearing hoodies. I don't know if Levis brought
I brought a jacket.
Okay, that doesn't count. He's wearing.
All these people that are complaining that Luke Cage is too black are going to be mad as hell when Black Panther comes out.
That was a white woman, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh yeah, we're getting there, and we're getting there.
That was a white woman. I just want y'all
Can
to
you
know.
say it again for the people in the back? Your little.
All those people that are mad that Luke Cage is too black are going to be mad as hell when Black Panther comes out.
She's not wrong. And D, actually, my hoodie is over here, and I'm currently wearing my
Well,
Luke
that doesn't
Cage.
count because you're actually dressed as Luke Cage. So he's
had to
good
get a character.
Now, folks.
Oh man,
Sweet Christmas.
I was gonna say they know Black Panther is filmed in Zamunda, right? I know that's where that's gonna
Circle
take
of Life
place.
gonna be playing and shit. But real talk, like, I don't understand what people expected out of a show like this. It's a show based in Harlem. A lot of the complaints I saw were that he didn't fight a supervillain, but like he does. You just need to watch the series.
You know, I just want to say it took me an embarrassingly long amount of time to realize that they were doing Serpent Society. Don't know why. That it just didn't click.
It does seem like we're getting
It's
a
like
black version.
Cottonmouth. I'm like, oh, okay.
Honestly, it seems like we're getting
It's
black
a different version.
of
They're using Serpent Society, but it's going to be a different version than what it is in the comics.
Yeah, because Cottonmouth and Diamondback are both like they are the black characters that they are on the show in the comics in the 70s. But currently, I think Diamondback is a female even right now. Like, it's a white woman.
They're on the second female Diamondback, as a matter of fact.
Yeah. And Cottonmouth, I don't know which, like, they're on, like, the 9th version of Cottonmouth or something. But, like, these characters in the books are also powered versus what we got in the show, with Cottonmouth just being, like, basically the Black Kingpin up until Mariah took over.
They just gave us a lot of gritty realism to try to make everything work. And to me, it worked.
It was perfect. It was great. You got the community pride thing. I mean, honestly, you can sit down, you can watch Luke Cage, and then you can watch Barbershop 3, and you're going to get the same. I'm serious. You're going to get the same general feeling from it.
You really do. Barbershop 3 was a much more serious movie than a comedy, and it was real. Once Ferguson gets done with my copy, you can borrow it.
And I still haven't seen it
next year.
It's still in his console.
Dude, see, you need to see it. You absolutely. We had
everybody keeps telling me, I'm gonna watch it. I never.
We had like a group watching here. Nobody spoke. Other than to make fun of me because there was a certain character in the movie that.
You'll realize who it is once you watch it.
I mean, we're all just sitting. We were sitting here like. That was literally.
Yeah, that was quiet watching the movie, but we spoke on a lot of the supporting characters. The one character we haven't brought up yet was Claire, the character to bridge all of the Marvel series so far. Like, she's been in everything.
I like that she's been in all of them.
Yeah, she's great.
That is absolutely excellent.
But Rosario Dawson and everything.
Right. As I said before, though, that leads me to believe you don't even drink coffee.
I'm not gonna comment because my special lady don't play that.
I got coffee. So.
He really does have coffee. That's in a milk carton. I'm sorry, we're gonna stop.
That's mocha though.
Mocha, there you go.
Mocha coffee in a damn. Is that your mocha?
Yeah. I mean, pretty much.
Where'd you get this in a milk carton?
Right at the grocery store around the corner.
I'll be back.
It's like
He's going out for coffee.
You know what's really funny is I normally get vanilla, and today I did not.
Feeling dark
Well, this episode is either going to double our listenership or like we're going to drop in half.
It's a Luke Cage episode. I need something a little dark.
Buzzing! 2 points for you.
Can't even be mad about that. Anyhow, what I was getting at with Claire is I really think that, unfortunately, because I know the way Marvel works, I think something's going to happen to her before we get the Defenders. Or either at the beginning of the Defenders.
Oh, I hope not.
I don't think she's going to die, per se, but I think something's going to happen to her that makes everybody come together. Kind of like what they did in Avengers with.
And she's the one thing that ties them together.
Yeah,
she is.
It has to be because she's the only thing that's going to tie everybody together.
Well, she tries to introduce one character to another in every series.
And none of them ever want to talk to each other.
Right, yeah, every single person. Oh, I got a friend who can take care of this.
I don't need any more problems.
I got a second friend. Oh, I know this girl that can punch you walls.
I know a great lawyer.
Right.
You know.
And I like how they introduce her. You know, she's chasing down that guy, stole her purse.
That was
Beat his ass.
Oh man,
She didn't need the
She beat the brakes off of him.
I was like, I bet you're going to steal another purse, will you?
I think he's done with theft out there.
Yeah.
So, okay, while we're on that topic, yes, you know exactly what I'm going to talk about.
Yeah, it's a black show, people. Yeah. A black woman getting robbed on the street is not going to holler for help. Let's just be honest on that.
Right.
I got nothing against the Avengers movies. We talked about them. They're all great. These shows are realistic. I'm sorry, you take a black woman's purse on the street, she's going to whoop your ass. Right. Luke Cage ain't coming. Iron Man ain't coming. You're going to wish Iron Man came. You would rather have...
You have a better chance with Iron Man because
he'll probably get her brother or her boyfriend to come.
Seriously, her cousins, her father, pops that owns the barbershop. I'm telling you right now.
We call that the cousins in them. This girl says she get her cousins in them. Oh,
just know you about to get that ass whooped.
Quack, quack.
I don't know if y'all know what it's like to be flagged in a black neighborhood.
Yeah.
Every everybody, once you do something wrong, everybody looking at you. I don't care who it is. Every single person. They know
We
your
watch
name.
everything you
They
doing.
know the address. They know
We
the
know
color
who
of your
house you've
natural
been
hair.
at. We know what house you ain't supposed to be at. We know who you look like. We know
get
who
one
your mama
strike.
is.
One strike.
But what I was gonna say was that man. We said that he probably ain't gonna rob anybody anymore. There's one particular character in this show that I cannot understand his logic, and that's Sugar, that big black dude.
He needed to quit, man.
From that first episode when Luke went back to the restaurant, what was it, Genghis Khan's, which is great name, by the way.
Yes.
I love how they take racism and they just
go with it.
they just
Right.
grab it right in the pussy.
Right.
They Donald Trump it. They just, I was.
Fuck him. Whatever. But anyway, man, we had like 3 people stop listening to us before this even get posted. But anyhow, what I was saying was, okay, so they're hustling Connie for protection money and her husband, and they're like, we're not going to pay anymore. We're not going to do this. We already paid you. Da-da-da-da. Luke shows up and goes, I don't like the way you're talking to him. And they basically go, what the fuck you going to do about it? And they try to fight him. This bro punches him in the face and breaks every bone in his wrist.
They put up to his elbow.
Right.
Yeah.
They showed that.
They show it all the way.
Now, as an African American male myself, let me explain to y'all. Once something like that happened, I'm done.
We quit. Tap out. I'm shaking your hand with my broken hand.
I'm sorry, sir. I didn't mean to. This fool is still in the show till the end, working for Cottonmouth and Mariah. Why? You've seen that you punch somebody in the face who's basically made out of steel and broke their wrist, and this is the fool they want you to attack. What would make you think that was a good idea?
And then whooped everybody ass.
Right.
Got fucking semiotic.
Discuss why the bullets don't work, why he always gets punched in the face next.
Right.
Like,
Right. If they shot at you,
Why were you gonna punch him?
what makes you think, and that don't hurt him, what makes you think, let me hit him? Let me punch him. Let me see what's going to happen. Bullets bounce off this motherfucker. Let me punch him in the face.
You know what?
This
I was going to
another-
say too that.
This is another crazy thing. I think the guy's name was it Diego, the main drug dealer on the was it the Mexican?
Yeah. It was
Oh, yeah. Was it Diego?
Greasy truck guy.
Yeah.
I know. Yeah, I don't
I
remember
think
his
his
name.
name is Diego. Just bear with me. I'm making a point.
We call him Taco. It's okay.
No, we can't. Don't do that. Don't listen. Shut up. Go ahead.
Taco Bell.
Anyway, all his goons in the boxing gym, they are unloading on Luke Cage. Do these fools not realize the bullets are not only bouncing off, they're ricocheting back into Diego's office as if he's getting shot at, and he's hopping over the table, coming up like a bitch, trying to get hit by a bullet, but they're still shooting at him.
Right.
Like,
And
it's
at
not gonna work.
that point, Luke had already been on the news.
Yeah.
And we've seen what he can do. And they didn't have the, what they call it. It wasn't the Judas.
Judas bullet.
Judas
Bullet,
bullet.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, they didn't have that yet.
They didn't have it? They didn't have it.
I was
No.
after. Yeah, wasn't it after that? I thought.
I thought it was
No,
after.
no, but I mean,
It's
it
might have been
wasn't. It
before.
wasn't mass.
Oh, yeah, but Diamondback was the only one that had him.
Yeah.
At the time. Yeah. We still haven't really touched on Diamondback yet.
Yeah, before we do, I'm just going to say Diamondback was a bitch.
I didn't like his character. I think I didn't like the actor. It wasn't
I don't know.
the
I
character.
liked him.
No, I think it was the actor himself.
I just
don't
think
he-
again, it goes back to the story being rushed. I would have
Yeah.
rather seen that be season
Probably.
2.
Yeah, Diamondback was really fast, especially when you find out everything that we do find out about him.
Right. Like I feel like it could have been introduced in the last couple of episodes and left for the next season.
To find out that he's Luke's half brother, and that's where the psychosis comes from. Like, Daddy didn't love me enough. He loved you too much. All these years later, you still dwell on this to where you get your brother locked up on some bullshit where he got experimented on and got superpowers, and then you get mad about that. It's your fault.
I think if they had foreshadowed that more earlier in the show, it wouldn't have been too big. It wouldn't have felt the way.
Yeah,
it did.
yeah, that's what he's
It
saying.
literally
Okay.
came out.
In the
Like, I feel
defense
like it
of
was
that,
rushed.
in the defense of all that, the character development was still there, and I really like that they were able to still flesh out what they could in that short period of time. But they did it within what 6 episodes.
Well,
it was more like 3 or 4.
6. No.
6?
Yeah. Yeah.
Around
Because
6. It was like
episode 7's when he got shot.
Because I remember when,
Yeah.
when Cottonmouth died, I remember watching and be like,
May he rest
yeah,
in
this
peace.
was kind of quick. He died kind of fast.
Yeah.
So that was kind of early.
May he rest in peace.
Then you had a couple episodes that were mostly about Mariah.
Yeah, because that was when
Yes.
Luke was trying to get that
Yeah.
bullet out of him
And
for
then
like
the
3
last couple
episodes, which
ones
was way
was
too
all-
long.
Yeah, that I will agree with. John was right about that. The bullet removal, that didn't need to be 2.5 episodes long.
No.
You know, it's like charging a spirit bomb.
That was very Dragon Ball.
It's very Goku of her.
It really was.
It's like you need to stop and get a sandwich. And then
But while we're on the topic of Mariah, one thing I noticed with Mariah Dillard, I know you guys already covered this, but her character was, fleshed out the way they wanted it to be in the show. But as far as Black Mariah, the comic book character, it seems like it was more of Mama Mabel Stokes.
That's a good point.
The more of the traits and the appearance
and the look, because what people might not realize that don't read Luke Cage comics is Black Mariah in the comics is 6'2", 450 pounds.
Bitch.
Yeah, she is. And she doesn't have she's another character like the Kingpin. Actually, she's basically the black answer to the Kingpin, to where she's not
maybe that's why they didn't do it though.
That's probably, but she's more of a. She has peak human physicality. Like, so she can go blow for blow with Luke and not get killed. But she also is human. So, like, she can, like, if he hits her hard enough, he can damage her. But, like, she is also strong enough to take a shot from Luke, which a lot of people in the superhuman and supervillain community can't even say. But Mabel was really close to that, to think of it. Like, it even looked like that when you go back to the flashbacks.
Physical appearance was there.
Gosh, she had the dress on and everything. Jesus Christ, they did do that.
But what I realized they did, the character traits that she had in the comic book, Black Mariah had in the comic book, Mama Mabel Stokes had. And then, as Mariah saying, I'm not going to become you, you see those start to show up in her as the show progresses.
Except for the physical appearance, but she had.
Hopefully she doesn't. Hopefully Alfred Riddick doesn't become a big chick to
they're not going to
fulfill this role.
They might do it. It's Marvel. They might do it.
Lots of CGI.
Right. Put her in a big green suit.
Oh shit! Stop giving people ideas.
Yeah, if y'all do that, Marvel, I want my check.
I was gonna say you should have been a part of the last couple podcasts where we're giving people ideas.
Right. So many people took our work now. But Diamondback is and I think it's kind of hard to talk about Diamondback because like it was so rushed, and it did happen so fast that we didn't really get to see enough of him. Like other than like I said that he had daddy issues, and
that was the major thing they played on.
A religious nutter.
Yeah, that's probably.
Yeah, he was a religious zealot with daddy issues.
Well, yeah, because he was religious because he was trying to get in the
only one that could ever reach me was the son of a preacher man. While I'm singing, let's talk about one of the high points of Luke Cage's television show. That whole soundtrack was raw. Everything from like the score on the streets to the club appearances. And I love the fact that it wasn't like, I mean, they started the series with fucking Raphael Sadiq from Tony. Like, it wasn't even like, oh, this guy's playing somebody and like we're going to put a recording up and this guy's not actually singing. No, that was actually Raphael Sadiq. We got Faith Evans. When was the last time y'all seen Faith Evans do anything? She was on Luke Cage.
Well, she flashed her, you didn't see that video, did you?
No, I didn't.
She was on stage and she had on no undergarments.
And Donald Trump showed up.
Faith Evans kind of showed Donald Trump got killed.
Yeah,
she kind of flashed the audience by accident.
He's not going to grab that one.
But since we talk about the music, before you go any further with that, how about every episode being named after a track
from
Gangstar?
Gangstar, yeah. Yeah, that.
I remember when they released the article a couple months ago that they were going to do that. We were over here like,
yeah.
I was looking at it like they're not really going to do that. If they are, that's awesome. But I don't
really
think
did.
Oh shit, they did. So yeah.
And like for like I mean, we got and Harlem is hip hop.
Yes.
And for us to get like the hip hop soundtrack and like the grittiness of what it was, and like again like the live performances. I had heard of Jadena before, but I ain't really been put onto him until he did "Long Live the Chief," which fit perfectly in the episode and the clip and everything.
That was a great montage.
Yeah.
No.
and the song made you empathize for the villain. That was that was just a perfect composition.
See, but you know what though? Like Cottonmouth was one of those characters that you're like, all right, I get it, man. Like I understand why you do what you do, especially when you got the backstory of him like growing up and he didn't want to be a bad guy. He wanted to go to Juilliard for Christ's sake, and then like. You know, they're like, no, this is what we're going to do. This is the family business. And he had to kill who essentially was his adopted father for getting in a drug game and everything. Like, and he wasn't supposed to be doing that shit. He was like, going behind Mama Mabel's back and doing what he wanted to do, and she wasn't about that. And then you see that Cottonmouth takes it and grows it into what he was doing anyway, because he didn't get his way. So after that first kill, it just made him what he was. But
there's some realism to that. A lot of young black kids get brought into quote unquote the game and based on their parents, families,
could have been
brothers.
a little bit of hints of PTSD with Cotton.
Right.
Oh yeah.
But you see that in shows other than just Luke Cage. We just got that in the Get Down.
It's because these shows are very similar.
Yeah.
They really are.
Yeah, I mean, dude just wants to
Both
spin.
people want to build
spray
housing.
paint walls, and he's got there's another female Kingpin character.
Yeah.
Puts a gun in his hand. You can do it, baby. And
Jesus Christ, the Get Down is Luke Cage.
I'm telling you, the Get Down is the prequel to Luke Cage. It really is.
Oh my god. I put two and two together, and it really is.
I like the insistence that, even with all of this going on, that there are still lines that can't be crossed, and there are still rules to this.
Oh yeah,
definitely.
yeah. That's actually what I was going to get at. Is like the reason I think Cottonmouth was so relatable too is he was pissed when Pops was killed, because that's not what he said to do.
Right.
He said go do recon, find out where he is, find out where the kid is that had the rest of his money.
And this was neutral territory.
And
Everybody
then,
knew it.
I can't remember that cat's name, but he was like, I'm making an executive decision, and he just ran on it. And
I was
Pops,
so glad his ass got airborne for that bullshit.
There was no. You knew he was about
In
to
the
die.
streets, you get airborne for doing too much.
right?
Your ass is going over the roof.
Again,
Know
your station. Like you can't.
He got way too big for his britches real fast, and Cottonmouth let him know that, especially when Turk showed up. Where my money at? He's like, I'm assuming he owes you money. Yeah.
Go collect it from him.
Relatable villains, I think, are my favorite. I mean, when you can see it from their perspective. I mean, for argument's sake, I'll say that I think Magneto's a villain. He's not, but you can see it from his side.
Yeah.
Oh, definitely. Especially in the newer remakes that they're doing.
Yeah,
they do a great job humanizing Magneto.
Some villains you can't see their side. I mean, I guess to an extent, Diamondback, it's a little difficult. I mean, you understand it,
It's just crazy.
but you can't really
feel with it. Yeah,
I
don't agree with it.
It's
That's
there,
like you said.
feel
He's a bitch. Like
Cottonmouth, you understand why he does everything he does.
He makes a lot of bitch
You might not
moves.
agree with it, but you understand. And the same thing, Levis and I had the conversation about Ultron, and John, you and I talked about it too. Like, he's a robot that was born and spent 5 minutes on the internet and wanted to kill all humanity.
I don't blame him.
I don't blame him either because I have no faith in people.
All of us got that. And that's why you respect and appreciate Ultron as a villain, because you're like, this is an AI, and I fucking get it.
D wasn't here when I was talking about that dumb white bitch at the fucking grocery store.
Yeah. That's another conversation.
Hey, Apocalypse did the same thing in a new movie.
Right.
So, got the whole world, and he's like, these people need to die, man.
Right.
Like, I get it.
But then you look at characters like Diamondback, and you're like, you're literally just crazy.
You're insane.
And even Mariah had that bridge of like I kind of get why you do it, but mostly you're just insane.
Right. She was just using him as a means to an end.
And then, same thing. You go back to the crooked cops. You look at Scarf and the other people that you find out crooked. You understand why they did it.
They wanted money.
It's all about money. Yeah. It's about that green thing that runs our country as it is. That's what they were in it for. And then you see, like, the positive characters. You understand why Misty is so insistent on taking care of this case. You understand why she is the way she is, why she wants to be the one to take down these characters and protect Luke's name while she's at it. She knows that he's not up to no good. She didn't think that at first, because he just happened to be at every fucking crime scene, which is not a good look in 2016. You a black dude that shows up at every crime scene?
And got bullet holes in your head.
Right.
She was looking at that hoodie for a minute, like, wait, he got shot, like
several times. How is he still alive?
She was interviewing him in the barber shop and was just looking at this motherfucker like, yo, how are you not dead?
Right.
But,
and then you have your character like Luke, and you see first and foremost to get the backstory of Luke Cage that we got in episode 5. I was so fucking excited.
That was episode 4.
Was it 4? Well, whichever episode where Cottonmouth dropped the building on him. Because I thought it was the end of 4 that he dropped the building on him, and all of 5 that we see the whole backstory.
I think that might have been 4.
Was it 4?
End of 4 going into 5.
Yeah.
Okay.
The building was Genghis Khan's, by the way.
Yes, it was Genghis Khan's.
I didn't get that. Like, I don't know if maybe I don't know what it was about it, but it seemed so weird and out of place when he just pulled out a rocket launcher and just.
Standing in Harlem with a rocket launcher.
Like, how did you get that up there?
I mean,
maybe it was just because he was doing it. Like, he
did it himself.
Yeah,
Instead of
he
having
did
somebody
it
else do it.
himself.
connections, you know.
It just kind of took me out of
It
the
was
show.
dark,
for a
so
minute.
he was
Like,
blended in.
what's
Nobody
going
saw
on
his
here?
ass. Like, let's just be honest about that. Nobody's walking around.
That said, though, it's Cottonmouth.
Yeah.
He is the bad guy. Before he dies, everybody knows who he is. If you saw Cottonmouth walking down the streets of Harlem carrying a bazooka, you gonna say anything about it?
Nope.
Exactly. So you gotta, I mean, to bring you back into it, you gotta think like, I'm not gonna say shit either. Nope, I'm not gonna say anything about that. That motherfucker going on the roof with a rocket launcher, I'm gonna go this way. You have fun, sir.
Yeah, because everybody knew where he was. It's not like he doesn't have that Kingpin-esque mystery to him where he's Wilson Fisk in the streets and Kingpin in an office somewhere. Everybody knows who Cottonmouth is.
Right.
They know what he does. They know how he grew up. They know not to cross him.
Right.
So that's why, to what you just said, you see him walking down the street with a fucking rocket launcher, you turn around and walk the other goddamn way.
Right.
It's kind of like Jack Nicholson's character in The Departed. Everybody knows who he is. Everybody knows what he does, but nobody touches him.
Right. I mean, the cops all knew what he did in that movie. And they're like, man, fuck it. I mean, that's pretty much what was going on. Except for the cops were trying to take out Cottonmouth. And to me, they had plenty of evidence to do so and just never acted on it. But with all the
dirty cops in there,
Every dirty cop in there.
They were clearing it up.
I think they were really leaving that up to, hey, you guys understand this entire department's corrupt, so just imagine paperwork's being lost so we don't have to spend an episode telling you that.
Right.
Did it work, or was it out of place that they kept mentioning Hammer Tech?
It worked.
I liked it.
Worked for us.
Yeah. Because Hammer was responsible for a lot of shit that happened. Was it Iron Man 2?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hammer was responsible for everything that happened in Iron Man 2.
Yeah.
Since Dave brought that up when we were watching it, like, why is Hammer Tech still a thing? He's in jail.
But all the
somebody
all the merchandise left over from that they probably didn't get destroyed. Just got
That
left
was
in a
like a
warehouse.
rival company to Stark Industries, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
And they're actually still the weapons manufacturer. Yeah. But see, my only thing about it is you would think that the government would look into that after everything that Justin Hammer and Vanko did together.
Yeah, but they have a lot of other issues with like S.H.I.E.L.D. collapsing. And...
Touche.
yeah.
They don't really got time because they're
They don't
working
got
on
time for
fixing
that.
themselves.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
Aliens.
Yeah, aliens, Asgard. Yeah.
They're busy.
The Hulk is out there somewhere still. So.
Right.
Plus,
He's
they're
just a
sending
Quintet.
people to the Dakota pipeline right now, so they're a little...
Really?
I'm just saying, they're spread thin. That's what we're talking about, right?
But it is good to see that callback, though. To go back to something that happened, 4 years ago now? 3 years ago?
What, Iron Man 2?
Iron Man 2, yeah.
No, much longer than that.
Was it longer?
2010.
That sounds right.
To go back that far and pull something from that deep, like out of like Kevin Smith's deep cuts, to go back that deep and like go, hey, you guys remember this guy?
I think
This is where we're getting this
Gosh,
from.
retroactive continuity.
Yeah.
It's a thing.
I was gonna say, I think in the show it's only been maybe 3 years. Though.
2010 was Iron Man 2.
No, it's actually progressed the way it's supposed to have been.
Oh, it has.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. I was gonna say the way they talk about it.
The Avengers and Iron Man 2 the Avengers and Avengers 2 have all happened since. They just don't. I mean, they didn't mention Sokovia.
No, that surprised me.
They didn't mention Sokovia or the Accords.
They will.
But they're not something they're really worried about at the time.
But I think
Like,
in
it
season
doesn't fit
2
in.
of Daredevil, they mentioned the Accords, though, don't they?
Yes.
They'll probably mention something about it once we get the Defenders come March.
Right.
I mean, they're not going to not
Matt's
be able to
Matt's really going to be the one to say something about it.
Yeah, I mean, they're not going to be able to not mention it. At that
Matt's going to be like, at this point, do we have to go sign up? Or, like, the inner lawyer in Matt Murdock is going to be like, hey, I disagree with this, but should we go do it? Well, we don't know if he disagrees or not yet.
Right.
But anyway, what the point I was making is that Luke's backstory was told almost perfectly. Without the blaxploitation shit we would have gotten in the 70s. You see Carl Lucas as a character. You understand that he is a broken man. So he does what he needs to do to survive in prison. And what he does is he fights. Quite literally, he joins an underground prison fight club for money for the prisoners and for money for the guards. And he beats the fuck out of anything and everything that he can. And then,
looking like Kimbo Slice and shit.
and you know what? Yeah, really, he really did.
All right, Kimbo.
He really did. That is the character that nobody talks about. The actual racist character. the racist CO.
Yeah.
Everybody wants to say
yeah.
Scarp was racist, but he wasn't. And there's another white character, but he was racist. But that happens in the system. That happens.
A lot more often than you think.
Right.
A lot more often than anybody wants to say.
Admit. I was being nice, but he's gonna say it.
I'm gonna say it. I've been fucking saying it since the show came out.
Hey, the show is unapologetic about it, so we can be too.
Right. And they did a hell of a job showing that. And then like to see Reva and to see like because everybody watched Jessica Jones, we knew who Reva was, but we didn't know who she was. So to get that expanded upon and to get the backstory and see that she wasn't the person that even Luke thought she was. That's some fucked up shit. Now you really feel for the dude. Because you're like, damn man, the girl that you love, the woman that you essentially married wasn't the person that you thought she was. So all this shit you're going through, your mentor Pops is now dead. You can't talk to your family anymore because they disowned you. Nobody knows who you are. You're on the run. You can't call yourself by your legal name any longer. You go by Luke Cage instead of Carl Lucas.
And you got this crazy ass brother who's still pissed off at you
because he fucked you. Because he fucked your life up. He'd be mad at you about it.
That's another thing. Luke Cage is not Luke Cage without every other character's story in the show. Everything's so overlapped. You know, like his progression comes from every person he talks to, deals with, and their interactions with
It's all about that character build. Like we got the characters around him that support him, and that's a good thing.
All he wanted to do was fucking live in his apartment and, you know, not be
wash
bothered by
dishes.
anybody. I mean, he got Pops telling
sweep
him
hair.
for what, the first 3 episodes, yo, you got to do something about our neighborhood. You can.
And Luke is like, no, I'm not going to do that. That's not my life. And then something happens to Pop, which, can we talk about that for a second? To a degree, how cliche that is. I will say I loved everything about the series, but Cajun and I, and I'm sure everybody else in the room that watched the show, knew Pops was going to die.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh yeah, he had to.
Just like when you called back to Barbershop 3 earlier with Anthony in that show.
That's what
in that movie.
The second he popped up, I was like,
Yeah.
We're like, positive black influence in the movie. He's going to die. Same.
Ricky was
I'm sorry. I forgot. I'm sorry.
How long has the movie been out? It's your own fault.
It's been out like a year now.
It was in theaters last fucking summer.
Oh god! Wow.
Man,
All the second glitch dial. Where
oh shit!
Carry on.
You know what though? You'd get 5 minutes into the movie, like, well, we know what's gonna happen to that kid.
Yeah, really. Yeah.
Hey, don't even act like you wouldn't have known.
Well, in a sense, I think Luke Cage is a modern version of the classic hero's journey trope.
Oh yeah,
You know,
Didn't want to do it.
very much that lone hero thrown into it.
Yeah. Had the powers, but didn't want to be involved with anything.
But again, I still feel Pops aside. I don't think Pops alone still would have turned him into being Luke Cage. I really don't. It took Pops dying. It took finding out Reva was.
Let's say it like this: he's Luke Cage. The progression of all the characters and everything that happened to him is what made him Power Man.
That's a better. Yeah.
Because Luke Cage is the persona he took on in prison. That's who Luke Cage is. Power Man is the hero of Harlem.
I like the callback to the Power Man nickname too.
Oh yeah,
was it Claire who said that was lame?
Yeah, yeah. But I mean, Claire says everything is lame. She ain't like Daredevil's costume. She
Like
The
anything.
throwback when he picks up the yellow shirt.
That looked like a damn fool.
Off the line.
I will go on record and in this recording and admit I screamed like a little girl when I saw Luke Cage in that full costume.
Yes, he did.
I was so happy. It was the coolest thing ever. Like that, Luke has been one of my favorite characters for 20 years, and to see him. Even though the 90s Luke Cage books were shit, to see him in the full-on Power Man costume with the yellow blouse and silver tiara.
I was going to say, he had the tiara and everything.
Yeah.
It was so cool. It was so cool.
I like how they did the quote-unquote tiara, too.
Yeah, it was part of the experiment.
experiment.
And it's even actually in the notes, too, when him and Claire are looking at the file.
It's his tiara.
He goes, what's the tiara? And he goes, that's that stupid thing they had on my head in that chamber. Okay. And while we're talking about that, the doctor, like, he okay. where would you describe the Doctor that experimented on Luke in the first place? Is he evil, or is he just like doing things for the sake of science?
Science. It's all about science.
He's lawful neutral.
Yeah,
for
he's
sure.
all about science. Like he didn't care about anything else.
Scientists
Lawful
very
neutral,
apathetic,
bordering on lawful
with the
evil.
exception of
But I got an issue. Now at the end of the season, is fucking Diamondback going to be like Luke Cage now? I mean,
We don't know for sure.
like what the hell?
It's going to be very similar to Red Skull and Captain America in the Captain America First Avenger movie, to where I honestly think that the procedure can't be repeated fully. Something's going to happen to Diamondback, maybe making him more snake-like, which actually would be pretty cool. Like seeing with the fangs and like the scales and
Diamondback in
everything.
the comics is dead, right?
Yeah, the Black Diamondback in the comics is dead.
Okay, so what the fuck? How is this going to work?
Actually, you know what? To truth be told, since Secret Wars, we don't know what the fuck is going on in Marvel Comics. So,
And another thing that's been bothering me, even though Batman clearly kills the fuck out of people now, if you watch the Dawn of Justice movie.
really should have been on the first podcast.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm not liking like Daredevil and Luke Cage are driving me fucking crazy. I don't believe you should go around beating the shit out of people to the point that they die. But if this person is clearly going to cause more harm than good, you need to fucking kill him.
kill him.
But see, no, that's the thing about Luke Cage, though. Luke Cage is probably the least violent of all the Netflix heroes we've got. No, not least violent,
but-
least lethal.
Yeah.
But the problem is though, like even though he hits somebody, we don't know what damage that actually does to them.
Yeah, because when he does a little slap, they fly across
Like
the room.
But you can see the restraint in his character.
do, but we
himself.
still don't know what happened to those people after they were hurt.
Well, he's not
Like that
an
guy he hit in the head. We don't know if he ever woke up.
But at the same time, A, he's not an EMT. He's not going to try to be. B, these motherfuckers are shooting at him. I mean, he's going to smack him around a little
They have
bit.
a whole film award named after Luke Cage.
You know? I mean, come on, he goes
There's
through
the
that.
Jessica Jones section.
Here's Luke Cage, and here's the devil in Hell's Kitchen over here.
He goes through that whole fucking building. These motherfuckers are trying to honeypot him in the corridors and shit. You can see the restraint. He takes the car door and just charges them. Like, you know, he's trying not to kill people.
John and I talked about the car door and how unneeded that
It
was.
really was. Like it looked cool, but I don't understand the point behind it.
Like, other than like he didn't want to ruin his hoodie.
No.
Which he still did by the end of it. Like, he got
I
shot in
just
the
feel like
back
he was trying not to kill people because he knows if he punches
with a
somebody
car door.
Buy new clothes.
Thinking logically, we haven't seen Luke's max power,
No, we haven't.
but based on him knocking the cop away from him when he threw him into the cop car at the end, when he like the hell hands up,
And
don't shoot.
he apologized.
He does
for it.
apologize, but him hitting that cop and knocking him back, I'd say that was 20 or 30 feet back. He had to hit him at approximately 1,500 pounds per square inch to send him flying back. At the cop's mass
thought
being
he
about
threw him.
250
He
pounds.
threw him into the window,
He
right?
landed like leg first. So
But he kind of did this.
Oh yeah, he like lifted him. Yeah,
But he still threw him in and like
right.
fuck him up.
No, but still,
No.
like that's. So what I'm getting at is he hit people with a car door. So if he did this
Right.
at about 1,500 with his bare hand,
But he wasn't swinging. It wasn't
Unless
he still did
The
this.
car door was to stop the bullets from ricocheting. It stopped him from being killed.
Yeah, because the car door would have absorbed the bullet. 'Cause
Yes.
the bullet would have caught in the door.
Instead of hitting him and then ricocheting back at him.
Yeah,
Maybe we figured out the purpose for the car door finally.
I think we did.
I'm just saying is that he doesn't go out thinking he's going to
Dear Marvel Comics, if you listen to this, can you please tell us why he had the car door? Because none of
Somebody
us
please
fucking
let us
know.
know.
Bro, when I saw that episode at the beginning, you know how they played what was going to happen later in the show at the very beginning?
Yeah.
And that couch flew out the window. I was like, oh, shit!
It was
Mind you, I watched these shows, the TV turned all the way up. It was quiet up until he walked in there. You just hear a little smattering gunshots in the background, not too loud. All of a sudden, BAM! That couch got the rolling, came right through the window.
real quick before we move on. Let's get a general consensus of this. Best hallway fight scene was it Luke Cage with the car door, Punisher in jail, or fucking Daredevil going through.
We
like
saying
Daredevil.
Daredevil season 1?
Daredevil.
Daredevil.
Yeah,
That's
season
about
1.
Daredevil.
Yeah, Daredevil.
With Daredevil, I'm going season 1 because season 1 Daredevil because
With the hallway and all the doors.
I really like the fact that he was tired of
Yeah,
it.
he was like,
Halfway
please
through
don't
the
get
fight,
up.
he was like,
Do you know why? You know why? It's because they filmed that in one take.
Yeah.
They said we can only do this in one take because we can't replace any of this.
No shit.
That's why it looks so real when they're all like,
because it was real.
because they were so tired and
I
like,
suddenly like that scene more
Yep.
than I already.
Don't get me
So
wrong.
far, my favorite. I've had this argument with other people, and I'm like, I love the Luke Cage scene. And everybody's like, well, it's not fair because he's so much stronger. I'm like, I don't care. Look badass.
The Punisher one was cool, but to me, and I don't know if he's watched this movie, I know John has, it was very old boy.
Yeah.
Very old boy, except for he didn't have a claw hammer. To me, that was the only thing he was missing. Right. Like, they stabbed him in the back, he had a knife sticking out of him, he was bleeding out all over the place. That was cool, but
it was enjoyable, but I just, that first scene with Daredevil and how tired he was.
Yeah, just the fact that you could see it, like, even with the mask on, you could see it on his face. He was like, why the fuck did you get back up? He's just like, oh, God. And that's what we talked about, I think, when we first saw Daredevil, was like the fact that this guy is... Daredevil isn't necessarily... He's yet again peak human physicality. He's not super strong. He heals better than we do. But he's not like fucking hitting you like the Hulk or Iron Fist or Luke or anything like that. And when he gets hurt just as bad as we do. So to see him, and his sense of touch is heightened. Because his other 4 senses are like off the scales. That's where he gets his radar sense from. So if like you hit an average person in the chest full force, it's going to hurt. You hit Daredevil in the chest full force and he doesn't see it coming, it's going to hurt him that much more. So, to see that illustrated in that hallway fight, I think that's what made it better. A lot of people are nodding their head. You guys can't see that because we're recording audio, not video.
No, it makes sense. No, I didn't, and especially I didn't know that they only could do that in one take. That kind of just changed my opinion a little bit.
You only have a certain budget when it comes to shit like that.
No, I understand.
Make sure that works the first time.
I was swearing to high hell the Luke Cage sequence was, and now I don't know.
No, don't get me wrong. The Luke sequence was what got me for the Luke sequence was the episode before. No, it was that full episode with Christmas Attic. So that's where him standing outside. I love. A, we got history lesson. Couple times. B, can we just go ahead and talk about the fact that this is a black superhero that doesn't like being called nigger by anybody?
Superhero or not, it's a grown black man.
Period.
Yeah, that doesn't like being called nigger.
Anybody.
And it wasn't an angry reaction. It wasn't like, what you calling me? No,
it wasn't out of place. It was well used.
He was like, really, dude?
He's like,
and he educated the kid. But then he got mad by the end of that clip. It was like, you gonna shoot me, motherfucker? Shoot me. Fucking shoot me. And he's like, fine, I'll do it myself. He takes the gun from the kid and shoots himself in the stomach, and it bounces off. And that kid, I'm pretty sure, pissed himself.
Oh, yeah, definitely. See, that's what I liked about the Luke Cage scene was all the guys that were realizing, oh shit, bullets ain't working. That fear in a couple of them. The one dude that grabbed the pipe, and Luke just turned around like, really, dude? It was just, I'm sorry.
It goes back to Sugar from earlier. Like, I'm not gonna fight him again. I don't give a fuck what kind of gun you told me I got, what kind of weapon I got, what I can do. No, I am not going. I hit him in the face and broke my arm. I am not going to fight him again. I'm done. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna go get me a nice job pushing a mail car somewhere in an office building. That's what I'm gonna do. I don't understand what will make you think, let me fight this motherfucker again. But so like we kind of got off subject of like the biggest complaint about it with it being.
My bad.
No, it's fine. It's fine. I mean, that's what we do. This is what our show is. But,
yeah, y'all should know by now. It's episode 4.
With it being too black, I've said this before. Actually, I said it in our panel the other day with Dee and Cage, and they both participated with me at the expo. Second plug, 2017, coming soon. But this show, I'm not saying it's made specifically for black people, but there are things in this show that are for us, that we understand, that we've grown up with, that white people don't necessarily get.
The black dude not liking being called a nigger.
Yeah, like, I mean, that's the thing. But on that,
America.
Right. On that same note, though, there are shows out there that are sitcoms or dramas that are for white folks that we didn't grow up watching. I've watched like maybe one episode of Friends for like 10 minutes and then turned it the fuck off because it wasn't for me. Couldn't get into it. Mark, how many episodes of Moesha did you watch? That's what the fuck I thought. John, you're more than likely to have watched that.
I've watched a few episodes. I never got into that show as much, but like.
Now, on that same note, though, like shows like Sister, I bet both of them watched.
Yep.
Yeah, that's what I
thought. They said they were big smiles on the
Jeannie, do you know what Moesha is? Yeah,
do you know what the UPN network is?
Underpaid Negroes.
That's what that was.
It really was.
She's shaking her head no, since you guys couldn't see that.
Shit, 90% of our listeners don't know what the
Most of
UPN
them.
network
I do remember Moesha though.
It was Brandy. Brandy, the singer Brandy. She had her own sitcom.
Yep.
And you
While
know,
we're talking about shows made for white people, and I'm going to go ahead. I didn't say this in the article I wrote because I felt like it was going to piss off people that I didn't want to piss off being POCs. The Jeffersons was a white people show. I don't care what anybody says.
Well, you know what it spun off from.
No, I do.
It spun off from All in the Family.
Yeah, but I'm just saying that was a white people show.
But I mean, at the time, though, at the time, it was made like that because they had to, because they had to appeal to the certain demographic.
Understandable.
Now, again, though, the Jeffersons also still had a lot of black lessons that were black lessons.
Oh, definitely. And just overall, it wasn't.
Can we talk about the black show that was made for white people for real, though? The Cosby Show.
Mm-hmm.
The Cosby Show was pandering to white people.
Yeah.
Now,
So was Family Matters.
oh yeah. Well, no,
I was going to say Family Matters had
Not as much as the
not
Cosby
as much
Show.
as the Cosby Show. Family Matters started out as a very black show. It was spun off of what was it?
Die Hard.
We thought it was
Getting by.
you thought it was spun off. If you pay attention, the guy who plays Carl basically plays the same character in Die Hard in Chicago. It was Perfect Strangers. That's what it was.
Oh, that's right.
Oh yeah, because Harry was the
I
elevator
thought it
operator
was Getting By, but Aunt Rachel's character came
from Getting By. Yeah. That's a real big throwback that ain't nobody gonna catch on to except for.
Yeah, I'm a fountain of useless information sometimes.
But I mean, like these shows. But on that same note, these shows were made for specific demographics, but you can still enjoy them. I'm not saying not to enjoy. Like if you're black and you're listening to this podcast and you're like, you know what, I watch Friends and I like it. Good for you. I didn't. But on that same note, if you're white and you're like, you know what, I love those Tyler Perry movies. You're supposed to.
No, I want people to understand the difference between black exploitation and a black culture show.
Yeah,
that's really my only point.
I mean, truthfully, then we have shows like Empire that are a mix of both.
Yeah, a little bit. But then again, it's on Fox in a primetime slot.
Yeah, exactly. And that goes back to what I was saying about Family Matters and about the Jeffersons. Was those shows were black shows, but they were directed at. I mean, fucking Family Matters was on TGIF after Dinosaurs, for Christ's sake.
Come on.
Awesome.
Yeah, Dinosaurs was a great
I have
show.
to see if I can find a clip of that somewhere.
That was a spin off of the Jeffersons because
Copyright
Sherman Hemsley was on it.
He was the boss, yeah. So many. It's 6 degrees to Kevin Bacon. But anyway, the long and short of this is like, if you didn't like Luke Cage and you only gave it like an episode or two, go back to it. I challenge you to finish the entire series and tell me you didn't like it. If you didn't, then I can agree with you. If you can tell me why you didn't like it.
Don't tell us it's because it's too black.
Yeah, that's not a reason.
And what the hell is too black?
Yeah, I don't understand what
I don't understand that.
Did you read the article?
I read the article, but it didn't make any sense to me.
Well, I just don't understand. Like, what did they expect?
It's a show set in Harlem.
It's in Harlem.
Surrounded by a black superhero.
It's about a black guy, and especially if you've watched the other Marvel shows.
Google
Jessica
Luke
Jones
Cage too black.
was about a woman. It was about problems that women have in
And
society.
there were two black people in that show.
Yeah.
Malcolm Powder and Luke Cage. One of them was a junkie. The other one was a superhero that got brainwashed. And it was before he was a superhero.
Yeah, but the junkie turns around at the end.
Yes, he does.
The same people that are complaining Luke Cage is too black are the same people that were complaining about women in Ghostbusters and complaining that Chris Hemsworth was stupid because he was just there to be brave. It is the same people.
You are the same people that complain about every single damn
That just
thing.
need something to complain
Just
about.
have an Eskimo pie and chill out and
Fucking white
relax.
guy,
Like, fuck.
It got too quiet
Fuck the white guy.
upstairs. It got way too quiet upstairs.
If you got a black dad, you don't really see the kids. You just gotta listen for shit, and that's when you know something's going
When
on.
you know there's no noise, that's when there's a problem.
For a lack of
He's currently sneaking upstairs. He's very Miles Morales right now. Notice I didn't say Peter Parker. I said Miles Morales because that's what we're doing. Talking about black
Has he
people.
got a venom blast the kid?
I hope so. I'd be okay with that.
Speaking of heroes that pull their punches with super strength, I think what was that? I can't remember what it's called. Superior Spider-Man.
Oh yeah.
Where Doc Ock was inside Spider-Man's body and he punched that guy's jaw off his face.
Oh yeah.
He wasn't pulling punches there.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
That's what happens when the superhero.
see,
That's
we've
not right.
had this conversation before, Mark, about like Wolverine and like how like in the comics and not in the comics, in the cartoons and the movies and stuff, they don't always show him using his claws. He sheaths his claws and punches somebody in the face.
Still gonna hurt.
He has a metal skeleton
Yep.
with an unbreakable metal. if he punches you in the face, your face is liquid. It doesn't matter, but I would rather be stabbed. I would much rather be stabbed in the face. Please just stab me and get it over with quick. I don't want to be in the hospital having to have reconstructive surgery because you melted my face with a punch. Like,
Yep.
And this is totally sort of off topic, but at the expo last weekend,
The Geek Expo?
yeah,
The any Geek Expo?
yeah, shameless plug. I'm gonna
Plus
Fire
number 3
Center in Geneva, Ohio.
in Geneva,
Geneva.
which is right up the road from Robot Zero Comics. That's another plug.
Right. And Capo's Pizza.
And Capo's Pizza.
12 to 7.
Yeah.
Yeah, but whoever I didn't see who it was, whoever the idiot behind me was who said vibranium is absolutely superior to adamantium, you're an idiot.
So, I didn't know somebody said that.
Yeah, somebody said that. You weren't in the
man.
room. We were in the bleachers, you weren't in the room yet.
I'm surprised you still didn't hear it.
I was like, oh, fuck, let me go record something. See, that's why we gotta listen for shit. You guys hear that? That's why we gotta listen for shit. But carry on. I forgot what I was talking about.
It's okay. I think Cajun just got in trouble himself.
What did he break?
There's a handrail upstairs.
Oh. I thought he broke himself.
They up to no good?
They were pretending to take a nap.
They ain't gotta pretend. They can
You
just
know when kids
And
pretend
you
to take a
fucking
nap, they
I'm
actually
so
fall
proud
asleep.
of you.
No, they didn't know I was there first. They were, I guess, playing house. They woke up to take care of the baby. Kiara gave Layla a wedding pin, which, by the way, the new term for hoodie is shirt sweater. Your daughter coined it. I'm going to take off with it. Shirt sweater.
Alright.
It's better than shacking.
Right? Wow, that was... I'm okay with it. Yeah, no, I started to walk away. She's like, your dad's here.
So we're gonna touch on something that's completely off subject, as Dee said it. Apparently, somebody in the stands had said that vibranium is superior than adamantium, and that is completely wrong. Like, this isn't a case of objectivism. This is a case of fact. That's wrong.
Stronger than adamantium.
No.
How many times?
Why my phone keep falling?
Actually, fact is objectivism. But
Stay out of this.
I was just saying, how many times has Wolverine shredded through Captain America's shield?
Subjectivism is the word.
Yeah.
That's the word you were looking for.
Okay, yeah, Wolverine can cut through Cap's shield.
Like,
We've
yeah,
seen that.
this is stuff that has happened in the comics. We've seen it in cartoons. Like, it's not something we can even argue at this point. Like,
I hope you're listening, because you're wrong.
Woody.
Can I take my shoes off?
Yes. Put your socks in them. Because if you lose your socks, I'll smack you.
You can take them off upstairs, Kiara. Just don't lose them.
That's fine. This girl goes through so many socks. I'm gonna go through my paychecks this winter in just socks. It's gonna happen.
Glue them to her feet.
Right? Like I'm ready to.
That's on tape. If anything happened to Cajun, it was probably his daughter. And I ain't doing nothing about it.
And it's probably my own fault. You missed. Oh my god. I'm so sad you missed this. Shit, Jeannie missed it too. I think D was maybe 20 feet away, half missed it. There was a slave Leia at the expo. A chain and everything. No, I'm talking about the one that wasn't wearing any underwear. That one. Really tiny one. Ah, look. Don't laugh. Don't act like you didn't. I grabbed it. I went and grabbed. Yeah. Speaking of, I got another question I got to ask you at some point.
I think I was wrong about that, so don't even bother asking.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, she was definitely 12?
Yeah.
God damn it. Well, I did the right thing then.
Yeah.
No, so this slave Leia. So I grab her by the chain and I'm just like, come with me, you know, whatever. Everybody laughed. It was funny. It was like, whatever, let her go. Walked away. Child walks up to her, jumps up, grabs her by the chain, and chokes the shit out of her. And I'm like, no, stop. And I'm trying to get her to let her go without choking the girl more, you know, let go, stop, bad, you know. That was my fault. And then she proceeds, everybody's laughing, oh, that's so cute, that was funny, haha, this little girl, I swear on everything, points right at slave Leia and goes, that belongs to my daddy.
Wow.
There was about 4 seconds of silence of people just looking at me like, dude, I didn't teach you that. I swear. Oh man, I'm really glad my black ass can't blush. Everybody started laughing. I looked over trying to find. I just knew David was somewhere. I knew.
I actually was nowhere near.
Yeah,
this.
no, he wasn't, and I was half disappointed, half happy because I don't.
I probably would have had to ask Kiara to leave. Like, you can't be here.
Crystal was standing there. Her boyfriend was standing there. Lindsay Ray. Well, no, her name's not Ray. That's just what it was before Facebook made her go to her real name. Which, by the way, oh god, I'm so mad at Facebook right now. Point being, I didn't teach her that. That's the only point. That girl's gonna be my wingman one day, though. That was amazing. I can say that now. I couldn't say that at the time. So many people around.
So getting back on the subject and getting away from Cajun's future potential sexual exploits, because sweet Christmas.
Oh man,
We talk about that. I didn't bring that up. He said it 6 times throughout the entire series.
6
I'm really
times?
happy. Yes.
What did he say?
Sweet Christmas. Yeah.
He only said it 6 times.
Yeah. It wasn't overplayed.
Oh, that's cool. Right?
It wasn't underplayed. It was just right. Just right.
He did say "sweet sister."
He did say "sweet sister" a couple of times.
I think he said "sweet sister" when the rocket was coming.
Yeah,
out.
when the rocket was coming, he said "sweet," and I was like, "Say it," because he hadn't said "Sweet Christmas" yet. And I was like, "Say it," and he said "Sweet sister." I was like, "Damn it, I like that too." And then a building fell on him. Actually, I think we get the first "Sweet Christmas" then, because it was during the breakout. When he punches through the wall.
Speaking of realistic characters, can we talk about Connie for a second?
Oh yeah.
How in the moment they're buried under this fucking building, and then we see this in every superhero show ever. I'm gonna ask you about all of your backstory right this second. Connie was like, "Nah, at some point you're gonna have to explain this to me."
Yeah.
Now get me the fuck out of here. I love that.
When he lifted the rock up off of her, he said, she goes, "You're gonna fucking explain this to me later," and that's how she said it.
Yeah, it was excellent. There was no deep. Who are you? Where'd you come from? What's your name? Who are your parents?
You were sent here in a space pod? What?
Yeah, like no, there wasn't a.
I'm a farm boy.
I can't say there wasn't a.
No, they even
flashback
did something like that in the episode of Transformers Prime. When I don't know who the young Autobot was, but when him and Prime got trapped underground or some shit after season 2.
Oh yeah, it was Smokescreen.
Smokescreen.
Yeah.
It's kind of cliche.
Yeah, because Optimus explains who he was, like his backstory to Smokescreen. I remember that now. Transformers reference in the Luke Cage podcast. Who knew?
Well, if you want to, it's a reach, but if you want to connect Marvel and Transformers, you can.
You really can't.
You got to reach.
But Marvel Comics did the Transformers comic originally.
There's your reach right there.
But anyway,
This is white girl brushing on that chicken.
Liquid smoke.
God damn it! Oh my god!
in the middle of a black podcast, we can't talk about grilled chicken right now. So anyway, moving on. Did you guys see that Punisher was announced as one of the Netflix series for 2017?
Cool.
So we're getting Defenders, Punisher, and
Iron Fist.
Iron Fist next year.
So excited for that.
That's fine. No,
Okay.
not
Okay.
all
Right.
We're good.
All right. You guys might hear that in the background later. We don't know, but something just fell upstairs where the girls are.
But they're both okay.
I mean, I would have liked like a little. Like we did get a little nod. For those of you that didn't pay attention, at the end of the last episode, when Claire is walking down the street, I think she has that realization that she's tired of having to rely on everybody. Plus, Luke is about to go down for shit that he didn't do.
Not going down for coffee.
Not going down for coffee. He tried to get some of that what was it?
Don't laugh before you were finished. Mine was already together.
Was it Cuban or Colombian that he said? It was
Colombian, I'm pretty
Colombian.
sure.
I think she probably developed the most emotional connection with Luke Cage than any of the other heroes she's dealt with so far.
She did.
Like,
she did.
definitely. And I mean, I don't.
I think it was easier for her to break away with Matt because Matt's a whore.
See, I didn't even mean that in a romantic sense.
Well, I meant like
Right,
even as far as a friendship, she's cool with Matt, but like I think it was easier for her to keep him as arm's length because he doesn't know what he wants as a person. She's still cool with like her and Jess were cool.
Yeah, no, definitely, but
You guys okay?
Yeah, but I accidentally slipped and accidentally broke that.
No. Right here.
Oh, it's not broken. It comes apart. It's fine. We'll
I
fix it.
don't know how to fix it.
We will.
Thank you. Yeah, Mommy.
I'll hand it to what is this?
Optimus Prime
I was gonna say, yeah.
I'm gonna say it like an African. What is this?
What's this called again?
What is this you break on the floor?
Oh, it's a short.
I live in
It's a
Wakanda.
shirt. Yeah.
What? No, say the whole thing.
Doc McStuffins. That doesn't sound like a kid's show.
Oh, Mark just ruined that for me.
It's jacket.
No, it's.
Mommy will fix the trailer. You guys go back upstairs and play.
She's trying to get her to say it. She wouldn't say it.
So
I'm a little upset.
Fix.
Kind of disappointed.
No, leave the balloon down here so you don't pop it. Leave it down here. Go upstairs.
Is that the best I can come up with for a kid's show? Doc McStuffins? That's not a kid's
I mean,
show.
it's still going. Like
It's not a bad show.
Horrible name.
That's just a horrible name.
Is it weird that I've never really put that together until he said it the way he just said it?
For you, yes, actually,
Doc
that is incredibly
McStuffins.
weird.
I didn't either. It's fine.
For you to not put it together, I kind of get it. For you to not put it together, I don't.
No,
Well, we got kids. I mean, Cajun does too, but Cajun's a horrible person.
You said if you put Doc McStuffins on Pornhub, what are you gonna get? You know?
You don't want to know.
okay,
I'm sure
people.
there's a fan fiction.
Those of you listening, this is your homework. Go to Pornhub
No.
Oh,
and
Bob
look
said.
up
Doc
look up Doc
McStuffins.
McStuffins.
Sweet Christmas.
Please tell us. What
No, don't tell us anything. I don't want to know.
Even better put a Doc McStuffins compilation.
It's a little girl, you guys. God.
Whoa!
She's like 6.
I didn't even take that to Rule 34. I just meant the title.
That's what's going to happen, though.
On Pornhub, you think? There's
Yeah.
gonna be that on there?
So, okay, moving on. I'm done with this conversation. So anyhow, what I was saying about Claire before the girls came downstairs and made this really awkward.
Well, a little more awkward now.
Right. Was I think she finally sees herself as a character that wants to rely on herself. Yeah, she beat the crap out of like the random mugger, but like she's been dealing with a lot of superhumans lately too. So the one thing we get is a shout out to the future Iron Fist series, where we get the Colleen Wing self defense class. Colleen Wing is a major character in Iron Fist, and a martial artist and one of Danny's partners. So we're gonna see hopefully Claire interact with them, and that, I mean, that's pretty much a shot to Claire's going to be an Iron Fist. They didn't say for sure, but we're not stupid.
Not to mention, you can see now she's not only okay with being involved, she wants to be involved.
Yeah.
Whereas in the first Daredevil season, she was kind of like, God damn it, like, I gotta patch you up again. Like, I got a job, dude. Get out of here. And she actually referred to herself. I can't remember if it was her or something.
No, somebody else
referred to
her.
her as a night nurse.
We actually, for the first time, heard the
it was
word
Sugar.
night
It
nurse.
was Sugar, yeah.
Yeah, it was the first
Yeah, go
time.
get the night nurse some.
That was probably one of my
Shorts and
that was one of my happiest metaphors throughout the season. Not metaphors, references throughout the season. Like, they said it. They said night nurse. I was like, yes, awesome.
Yeah.
That made me happy.
There was just so much going on in this show. Like, the more I think about it now, actually, while we're talking about it, John's right. Like, they could have done 2 seasons in the 13 episodes that we got. We could have gotten easily a 22 to 26 episode run of this series with the story that they smashed in 13 episodes. We could have gotten more backstory on Scarf.
Yeah.
Could have seen more of his descent into crooked coppedness.
I personally would have enjoyed a little more gratuitous superhuman sex in this series.
How'd we go from a white girl with chicken to Danny Trejo? What is?
Why are we watching the TV?
I don't know. I didn't realize. I'm just trying to figure out what's going on up
Put
there.
the Indian
It's a commercial.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say that was a fucking whale on the screen.
Mark, find the guide. Put the Indian skin.
One thing I think they missed out on is they didn't bring Jessica Jones up enough.
Yes, I had.
They-
a
they
tremendous
brought her about
problem
2 or
with
3
that.
times.
Not
Yeah.
really.
Your ex-girlfriend shot you in the face.
Shot you in the face.
Yeah.
There's a woman in New York who broke a man's neck because he was mind controlling her.
But there wasn't really anything of him talking about her.
Right.
I don't think he wants to though. Like,
I think he's still tripping on the Reba thing
Yeah.
with Jess. But,
Yeah, the sequence of where Jessica Jones fell in relation to Luke Cage was a little muddy.
yeah.
Like, you knew it was after. We think it was after.
no, it was.
Luke
But-
definitely was after.
Yeah,
I just don't-
When he disappeared after his shop was, not his shop. What was it, a bar?
Yeah.
After,
his bar
after
blew
it
up.
was destroyed, when he disappeared, we know he went back to Harlem.
Yeah.
But I don't know. That plays into his character too. I mean, he's a strong, quote unquote, independent black man that don't need no woman.
Yes, but if you're gonna
Like, he's not
build a
about to be
relationship
moving
on these people later, like I feel like that should have been mentioned more.
I think they'll come back to it, but they didn't really have a relationship. They banged a couple times. He got annoyed with her and pretty much kind of told her to fuck off after a while. Like, she was too fucking crazy for him in her show.
Right, but what I'm saying is it's going to weaken the relationship later if they
what's
bring it
going to
in.
happen with these two.
Unless they're not doing that.
They're gonna.
Yes, but if they're... But what I'm saying is that without bringing it up, it
We
weakens the
need more
relationship.
of a build-up. Yeah, it can't just be.
That might be in her next show. That
Right.
maybe they just didn't
But I
want to
just
do
feel
that.
like it was something that they didn't
Her
touch
next
on enough.
episode's her next 7 episodes coming in 2017 too, right?
No,
They have-
2018.
yeah, they
Oh
have.
man, that's a wild one.
See, this is what I was going to get at actually is with the Defenders, and it's yes, it's only an eight episode miniseries, but with the Defenders, do we really need second seasons for Jessica and Luke after that? Like, it'd be great, but like
I'd like one.
I want
doing the.
Yeah,
It's 1,000.
Well, I mean, then again, we
Oh,
get
1,000 what?
1,008.
I don't know. I don't know. See, with Luke Cage, depending on how Iron Fist does, I'd rather see like a team-up show with
Oh,
them.
it's not on yet.
That's okay.
I'm not looking at 8 o'clock. I'm looking at-
Jessica and Luke getting their own show instead of doing a season 2 for either one of them. You mean
Yes.
that'd be cool? And because of the way Jessica ended, we could almost get a Heroes for Hire.
Well, no, I was saying like do the season 2 of Jessica Jones, but do instead of doing season 2 for Luke Cage and Iron Fist, do a Heroes for Hire show instead.
With
Bring them
Luke,
together.
Jessica, and Danny, and all
Yeah.
work
I
together
assume
without
that's
being
what
the
they're gonna
Defenders.
That's what makes the most sense. I hope that's
Yeah.
what they do.
Yeah, that works. I don't know, because like Luke has a lot of story to tell. We could still find out. Honestly, they could really glaze over the court case shit.
Oh yeah, easily.
They could easily just be like, well, we have proof that he actually didn't do it, and it was his brother that framed him.
Right.
He's acquitted. But, I mean, on that same note, Black Man 2016 broke out of jail. Not going to be a thing.
Yeah, being bulletproof will always come second to being black.
Which is true.
That was the truest fucking line spoken.
Don't worry, that's gonna be my next Facebook post.
I think we'll get maybe 2 or 3 episodes of Court Case. Somehow they'll throw it out for time rendered and services done.
I don't even know if we'll get that. We might just get like a flashback.
Yeah, this is what happened.
Yeah,
Now
I
he's
don't-
on the streets again.
Yeah.
But now, here's my question: Are the people of Harlem like fully accepting of Luke when he goes?
Not
back?
everybody. There's no way.
I mean,
like
a
that's-
lot of those people were cheering him on, but that was just a small
Yeah.
smattering of the
There's
crowd of
no
Harlem.
way. No one ever has 100% approval.
And
rating.
what's going to happen? Right? And what's going to happen while he's gone? Because somebody's going to try to rise to power again and take. Well, Mariah's still in power.
Yes.
Mariah and Shades are still in power. So what's going to happen with them? Who are all they going to mess with?
I want Shades to die so bad. That motherfucker needs to die.
See, I didn't want Shades to.
I
Well,
like Shades.
I like him. I like him.
I didn't want him to die.
I did. Yeah, I wanted to see more of them. Honestly.
Yeah, I wanted to see. I kind of wish that they had shown that he was pulling strings for everybody from the jump, which he kind of was, but he kind of wasn't. Like,
Right.
He had his own thing going.
As soon as he thought he was in power, Diamondback was like, "What? You think you're in charge? You sitting at the table now?"
Right.
And then Diamondback came in and basically took over the club that he didn't even know. Donald Trump is like Batman. He is not the hero we want, but the hero we need. Who the fuck told you this?
I didn't expect.
Yeah, I read it.
anybody
He
to
just
be
gave me
so
something in the middle of my.
Oh man.
My God, somebody needs to cast him in the deal. Anyway,
Oh,
So,
probably some of the roughest shit I've read.
it was. So we agreed because we did the movie rating thing. Like, I'd say if I were to rate Luke, because I don't do a perfect score for anything, I'd say 4 out of 5. I'd say 4 or 5 out of 5 because the soundtrack is what really pulled everything together.
That soundtrack was excellent.
It's a good soundtrack.
I'm going to give it a 4.5 out of 5 as well. I really enjoyed the show.
Yeah. Gage?
Yeah, I'm not in disagreement at all.
Jeannie? If you had to rate it out of 5, what would you give Luke?
4.
Just a 4?
His shirt wasn't off enough,
There you go.
and it wasn't a white girl in a romance scene this time around.
We did get some Misty Night side boob.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
did.
no,
Oh my
Nice
gosh,
to-
that woman
that
is
was-
so fucking
All right, so
Woo!
7 out of 5.
I had to look right
4.8 out of 5.
I think Caden just rating side boob now.
Yeah. 4.8 for side boob.
That woman is so damn fine.
Misty Knight was But the actress was perfect. And
David's just excited. I'm getting excited over Black Woman this year. So
that's twice now.
it's been a couple times.
I witnessed the first one at the expo.
Oh no, that wasn't even the first one.
That wasn't the first one?
No, not for this
Who
year.
was she? She was cute.
I forget her real name.
We're not, don't say it on the air, bro.
I'm not going to just say it.
I will figure it out later.
We'll talk about that in private after we're not recording. But
y'all should have seen the look on David's face.
Those of you that know Cajun know why I reacted the way I did when he picked up this black girl.
I picked this girl up.
Literally.
Just literally hoisted her up, and I'm half sprinting into the damn elevator. This man is just over here like...
I didn't know what was happening.
I saw it like he wanted to clap, but he was just paralyzed with...
It's the still hard skin, man. I couldn't clap.
Oh, yeah, it was great. It was absolutely... It was wonderful.
Moving forward, from Luke to Iron Fist, does Luke set the bar high, or did it keep it the same as where Daredevil was?
Oh, no, it pushed the bar.
Yeah.
Definitely.
The bar's definitely raised.
Now, because we know where we're going from here. From here, we're going to Luke to Iron Fist, and Iron Fist is very much mystical, very grounded in like the mystic arts and martial arts. Is this? Do you think it's going to live up to Luke Cage?
See, the thing that sets Luke Cage apart from Daredevil is, again, like you mentioned earlier, Daredevil does not have the sense of realism that Luke Cage has. Nothing against Daredevil. It was a great show. We all loved it. But when you're watching Luke Cage, it's 2016 America. It's...
As a black man in a hoodie getting chased by cops.
It's not stylized. There's very little artistic liberty. You're watching it and you're like, if this shit was on the news, I'd believe it was happening.
And with Iron Fist, you almost have to forego all the realism. He punches a dragon in the heart to get his powers, for Christ's sake.
Right, yeah. So.
Yeah, I think Iron Fist is going to raise the bar as far as action goes.
Yeah, it
As
has
far as,
to.
as far as
It
the
has
fighting
to.
goes.
You can't
Yeah,
make an
it has
Iron
to.
Fist show without... That has to be our fight show. It has to be.
It really does. Iron Fist has to have a message of peace behind it while he's kicking the shit out of everybody. Like, honestly, he's a pacifist when it comes down to it.
He's
But
going to
he'll
have
fight
to,
for what he believes
he's
in.
going to have to be a white Bruce Lee. I mean, it's really... There's no other way around
Iron
it.
Fist is going to go to the level where the Marvel movies are, as far as themes.
Yeah.
It has to.
I got faith in these shows because if these were movies, we would not be as happy. Because with a television show, especially when the television show is devoted to one character, it's the core. You get to pay much more attention to detail. You get to explore the depths of the secondary characters.
And see, that's what we were saying. Actually, before you got here, like with 13 episodes, you can do that. With Luke, we would have liked more. I think we can all agree on that. We would have liked a longer season, or at least a season 2.
I would have rather they just split it up. Like, it doesn't need to be a longer season. But they could have spread it out.
When it was over, I was just like, man, I needed more of Luke more than I've needed more of any of the other ones they did.
Remember, episode
Just 'cause there
13
was
was
so
a little
much
bit
there.
rushed.
You know what,
Yes.
though?
To me, like all this, everything kind of ended within the first 25 minutes, and then the rest was kind of just like we're gonna tie
really-
loose ends together.
Yeah,
to
that
the
last
wall.
fight could have been so much better than it was.
Can we talk about how he actually gained the respect of the community, though? I mean, the cops were like, yo, you want the cuffs? You don't want the cuffs? How you want to do this?
Yeah.
And
I'll go with you. I didn't do anything wrong, but let's go.
And then, I mean, honestly, I think Jessica ended the same way to where Jessica Jones ended, and I was like, I kind of want to see what happens next right now.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like, especially with, like, her answering machine being full as soon as they get there.
Right.
You're like...
It ended at the part that we all wanted to see the most. Like her actually doing alias investigation.
Right. And all of us that know the character, know the characters from the comics and everything, like, I don't think that's the end of Purple Man. Because we haven't seen Purple Man yet.
Better not be. He's still the best villain.
We saw Kilgrave. We didn't see... Yeah, let's talk about that. These villains in comparison to each other.
Kilgrave's still the best villain.
Kilgrave's the best.
Kilgrave versus
across movies, across
Diamondback,
everything.
As a whole, Kilgrave was the best villain they've done so far because you actually are afraid of him. Like, you... For a
He
minute,
played that role so creepy.
Yeah, and for a minute you sympathize with him because you're like, oh, you were experimenting on as a kid, but then you find out everything he did to Jessica and all the other people. Like, and then again,
just experimented on, but experimented on by his fucking parents.
Yeah, his actual parents,
and
right?
then reading the Alias comics and everything. Like, I don't know if I can't remember if they did this in the show. In the comics with Purple Man, he walked into a diner. No, they did do it.
They did in the show,
and he told everybody to stop breathing, and they he killed a room full of people just by suggesting it. Like, what the natural fuck, man? Every other villain in the Marvel universe, be it the movies or the show, you're like, or the shows, you're like, all right, I get why you did this. You became a bad guy because blah 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 blah. Like we were saying with Ultron, like we said, with Thanos upcoming and like other characters. But with Purple Man, you're like, you're just a fucking asshole. You're a bad guy just to be bad because you can be bad. Fuck you, but God, I love you. Like he made the show interesting. Again, like with Cottonmouth, with Black Mariah, with Diamondback, they're all interesting characters in their own rights, and nobody lives up to Purple Man. So I think, honestly, for a Heroes for Hire, we almost need to see Purple Man as the villain. And for those of you that don't know, one of his powers in the comics is a healing factor, so a broken neck could be healed. Could come back from it. That'd be great. And then we see him fully realize it's Purple Man. They actually make him purple. I'd be okay with that.
It kind of semi-turned a little bit purple in one scene.
When they powered him up, yeah. But I really think, we just about covered the entire show.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to Iron Fist. I'm looking forward to Defenders, and we get Punisher 2017 too. Like, so far, I won't say Burdenall's my favorite Punisher because Thomas Jane still takes that for me, but I like the way he fits in this world.
I think Thomas Jane had the look. He's had the best look of any Punisher, but I think
I didn't like Ray Stevenson, by the way.
What are you talking about?
Exactly.
Yeah, that's
nobody talks about that.
We don't talk.
It's like the Avatar movie. We pretend it doesn't exist.
I like the attitude Bernthal was able to bring to it.
Yeah,
I like how serious he took the role. Fucking finding out he went to a comic shop and was all like.
A lot of these actors and stuff do that with Marvel movies, but like the fact that like he went in and like the comic book owner, the shop owner gave him respect and was like, "Yeah, I know what you're doing this for. Thank you. Do this right." Actually, no, he didn't say thank you. Do this right. He said, "Don't fuck this up."
And then he said, "Those are shit. Let me get you some different
ones." The ones he picked out.
Replaced his entire Punisher selection, and then said, "Don't fuck this up." That was.
Yeah, and then
that guy's not going to hear this, but thank you.
Yeah, right. And he didn't like it. For a second, I was worried. I was like, he's just going to be playing Shane as the Punisher, and I'm not going to like it. But he really didn't do that. Like, when he had Matt tied up on the roof, I was like, holy fuck.
He shot him, too.
Yeah, especially when the dude came up the stairs and he was... I don't think... He goes out of his way to not kill innocents. So I don't think he was going to do anything. It was a bluff, but to show that he could, at any point in time, break...
Right.
And have that snap that makes him take out whoever he wants to take. One of the arguments I saw was that the Punisher wouldn't walk around a hospital shooting where, to kill a gang boss just because, like, that's who he's there. With innocents around.
But he's not the Punisher yet.
Right. That was Mad Frank Castle.
Yeah, that's what we keep trying to tell people.
The Punisher we didn't get the Punisher until the last episode of Daredevil Season 2. And now, like, when we see him again, it's gonna be the Punisher. It's much like Kingpin in Season 1. We didn't get Kingpin until the last episode.
Right.
And then when you see him in Season 2, he is very much the Kingpin. Very much the Kingpin. Much like, okay, we saw Luke as Power Man. We saw that halfway through the series. We're not going to get Black Mariah until whatever we get next for Luke Cage. And I'm okay with that. I hope we don't get shades from the comics ever. Ever.
You know what we didn't talk about, though? For all the stuff we did cover in the show, the fucking funeral scene. Because that was pivotal. You got all these sides in one room.
And everybody, and that did show, like you said, the community pride. Killing Pops was never something that Cottonmouth wanted to happen.
Nobody wanted it on any side of any part of this fight.
Cottonmouth was damn serious when he said he respected the man. He did. Cottonmouth was a bad motherfucker, but he wasn't. If he considered you family, that's what you were to him. Even if he found out you were lying, he'll handle you. But he wasn't necessarily going to kill you. So to do what he did and show up at the funeral, get the eulogy and everything, and he wanted to, pay to rebuild the shop before he thought that Pops was dead.
And he even said, Pops ain't going to take money from me, but...
Yeah, he said he was going to make an anonymous donation, and that's when what's-his-name said, "Oh, no, I handled that situation." Well, he's like, "Nigga, what do you mean you handled it?" And then he went the fuck off the roof.
went airborne. That's what he said.
You get airborne for doing too much.
Right.
That's what happened.
Stay in your lane.
Right, and
He landed in the parking.
he was in the right
Top of
lane.
the car at the bottom.
He was in the right lane at that point. But like you see, and I mean, then you see, what's her name? Aisha was gonna kill Cottonmouth, and Luke didn't want her to do it, so that's why Luke got up there, and then he sat with her, and he crushed the gun, and she ain't know it. That's what I thought was the greatest thing, was when she went to pull the gun out, and it was just a ball of metal. She was like, "What the fuck?"
He crushed a lot of guns in that show.
He really did.
Yeah.
He really did.
Again, he's the least lethal Netflix Marvel superhero.
Luke doesn't want to fight unless he has to, especially because he knows what he can do. Like Mark was saying earlier, like the guys that he was knocking out, he was just tapping them on the back of the head.
Right.
It's still a concussion.
He still knocked your brain around the
Great one
basket.
concussion.
I mean, that's worse than getting hit full force by like fucking the bus.
Ugh.
It made me think of that. You ever seen a video? It's a skit from some show, but it's like some kid's like hitting some guy's daughter at like some birthday party or something, and he goes up to the kid and he's like, and he smacks the boy, and then everybody starts like, "Hey man, what are you doing?" He just starts
Smacking everybody.
And
Yeah.
like the cops come and he's slapping all them.
That's great. I'm gonna go look that up when I get out of
Luke
here.
Cage.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's pretty much what Luke was doing. Because Luke knows he doesn't know the upper limits of his power, but he knows that if he hits you,
God,
it's
he
gonna
looks
hurt
that
you,
big.
basically, if you're human.
I didn't know he was a Cubs fan.
Yeah, they did the 7th inning stretch with him the other. Look,
Man.
anyhow, that's what in Jessica Jones, when like the sex scene with Luke and Jessica was so great.
It was excellent.
Yeah, it was. It was.
Oh,
great.
That's why I think this series could be more gratuitous.
Yep.
Bed breaking.
Yes.
But yeah, I guess that's everything. We covered pretty much the entire show. We covered the future of the character.
Doctor Strange next week.
Doctor Strange coming out next week. This podcast should actually be up
So excited.
this week since we have hosting now, and I don't have to render a video.
Right.
So we'll have this up before Doctor Strange comes out. We'll probably do a review after that comes out. For those that care to listen,
Yeah, so hurry up and go fucking see it, because spoilers.
we're gonna spoil the shit out of that movie.
We're telling you
Go see
right now.
Doctor Strange.
Yeah. Good.
Yeah, I don't want anything else spoiled.
We forgot, my bad. It was
It's been over a year, dude.
the flow of conversation.
I'm trying, bro. I'm trying to watch it when I can.
Man, look, we got the internet. We can hook you up before you go home. I mean, I can run home real quick and grab a flash drive.
No, he can't. He can't do that. We don't do stuff like that.
No, we don't. He's just trying to make me feel better.
I got that incident in HD, dog. I got a video of the incident. Your first-hand video. You can see the guy with the shiny hammer and everything.
Right.
Ah,
All right, real quick. Luke Cage versus the Hulk. No
The Hulk?
rules, no civilians.
the Hulk.
No, why is that a question?
I want to see it. I feel like it would be fun to watch.
I like that. It wouldn't be. It'd be a one-hit fight.
You think so?
I know so. Look
He would
at
vaporize all his organs on the inside.
look at what happened to Luke when he got shot point blank in the chin from a shotgun.
Right.
I guess I play too much D&D because I'm thinking of it as the bigger you are, the less AC you have. So
No, the Hulk.
again,
Even
D&D,
if
that's
it
too
doesn't
much.
shatter him, it's gonna scramble everything
Yeah.
inside because that's what he
Like-
did to Wolverine.
Yeah.
like in that one when
In World War
Hulk,
yeah.
he's like, I can't kill you or break you, but if I punch you in the head hard enough,
I was actually-
It'll take a long time for your brain to
scramble
I was
everything.
just getting ready to watch all the Hulk versus movies, and then I didn't. I was going
Yeah,
to.
I got
never
Hulk
really-
versus Thor / Hulk versus Wolverine.
It's
So
good.
it's on one disc.
Yeah.
I bought that a couple years ago.
Yeah, but
Those are fun.
did you buy that from Buy Sell Trade in the Ashtabula Mall?
Plus,
Nice plug.
I know.
Nice plug. Of course I did. Shrink wrapped and everything.
You definitely didn't buy it from us.
That was probably
Just
from
trying to
someone
help
again.
with the plug.
speaking of, you plugged a new location. That hasn't been. This is the first podcast since you guys.
Oh,
yeah, it
we
is.
did move. We moved one unit over in the
Right.
mall. We're in a location that's 3 times as big in the Ashtabula Town Square Mall that's not closing. It's not closing.
You can buy new movies and albums though, right?
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yep. New releases every week.
New Corn
Star
CD?
Trek on Tuesday.
Star Trek on Tuesday, yeah. This should be out before Tuesday, so Cajun can make sure this is done before Tuesday so we can plug that.
We're going on 3 hours, but I think I didn't.
No, we're at an hour and 45 minutes.
Hour and 45?
Yes.
I could have sworn we started this at 5 o'clock.
No, because I didn't get off work until 5 o'clock.
That's right, I walked in. Whatever, I'm retarded. It's been a long weekend. I'm sorry. I clearly have no, at this point, understanding of time.
Right.
Time code.
But,
it's like the sixth Aleppo moment I've had.
So I think we're going to close this out with a big shout out of Sweet Christmas. If you don't like Luke Cage and you just can't get into it, like you finished the series and wasn't your bag, I respect that. If you tried and you couldn't get past a couple episodes and you legit just can't get into the story flow, I'm okay with that. If you watch the series and you say the words, it was too black, the one white guy was a bad guy, any of that shit, we're not friends anymore.
Yeah, have fun voting for Trump.
Right.
The carrot will be in control of us all.
Any more shameless plugs? I got a few.
I mean, yeah, D, this is your first episode. Go ahead.
First, be sure to check out the D. Harris brand on YouTube and Facebook. I have a show called the show is called the On Screen with D. Harris Show. It's basically just called On Screen with D. Harris. I'm just rambling a little bit. But
there should be a show about the Indie Geek Expo.
Oh yeah. Since he's saying that, be sure to check out the upcoming episode that I shot at the Indie Geek Expo that took place last weekend. I'm not sure when this is going up, but that was last weekend when we recorded. Also check out my car club team page. It's called Team Prodigy 216. We go to car shows throughout the Midwest, and pretty much wherever else we want to go. We got cool videos. We get contests on Facebook a lot. Check us out too if you're into the automotive stuff. Who's next? Who wants to break another plug?
Alright, so signing off, I have been David Jackson with my partner
Cajun Frank.
Dynamite D. Harris.
Mark Levis.
John Smith.
Keep on geeking on, and we'll see you next time.